And as people have been mentioning, there are great ways for people to relieve their stress. For me personally, it's playing Super Smash Bros. So the other day I ran a Super Smash Bros. Event in the CUS Lounge. But I just want to make sure that my peers know that there are support capacities within the solder community for them to help relieve their stress and make sure that they're aware. Thank you.
Hi. Being a student myself, I cannot simply go into each individual and try to see what everyone's going through, but I can promote some campaigns, and not only campaigns, I can promote a lot of activities to find out in what ways we can help people, and mostly figure out campaigns to try and spread the wellness and health.
So I am really big on meditation. It has the potential to get rid of depression and stress. It can get rid of depression as good as the antidepressants. There are a lot of studies on it. So what I would personally do is get some regular meditation sessions in Solid so people can just come down there, do some meditation, and burn away their anxiety. I can personally vouch for meditation.
I do think actually that the CUS provides a lot of different opportunities and services already in place for students to go to. So people can relieve their stress or things that they have on their minds in different ways. So whether it be through sports, be through reading, through engaging with people. Solder or the CUS already provides these services such as through Solder Sports and various other things that we have out there, Solder Yoga. I think the main thing isn't for us to be, it's important for us to make friends with everybody, but it's very difficult for one person to change or to be what's it called? Not a companion, but someone who takes care of everyone. So I think it's important for us as a first-year representative to make the first-year student body aware of the services available to them so that they can engage themselves in the community as well as create these friendships that will hopefully last throughout their 4 years here at Solder.
Yes, to add on what Sheldon said, Solder already provides all the services that we do need. For example, all the services that we think of, like Solder Sports, Solder Yoga. The problem is that people don't know about all these opportunities, and you only to promote mental health, you kind of got to get people involved. That's the only way people get better. If you're homesick, CISA's holding a little Thanksgiving dinner. So it's, all these little things that can kind of go the long way if you just know about them and get involved. Hello, everybody. Honestly, I think it's very idealistic to say that me as one person should talk to every single person out there, because honestly, there's people that haven't even seen before. I think the best thing that you can do for people who are really stressed out, provide them an opportunity to meet their own friends, to get their own support network. Besides all the CUS things that they already run to help with stress, I believe something really simple that we can do is just to provide stress balls. I am a huge advocate of that. You should have stress balls everywhere.
So being part of the CUS board is also contributing to making Vanessa's vision come true. So how will your platform or what you do help Vanessa make her goal come true for this year?
Juicy question.
Okay, so I think that one of Vanessa's goals that I really relate with would be transparency. The reason that I found it so inspirational is when I saw your blog on what happens in the CUS meetings. Usually for student council, I don't really hear much about what happens in the meetings, so it was a really big turn of events for me. Personally, that would be what I focus on. The reason there's a lot of apathy for CUS in general is because, one, people aren't really informed, and two, people don't get a chance to really engage with the board. So part of what I want to do, something that really reaches out to first years at least, I want to start a subreddit. There is actually a UBC subreddit, but it's not really well known. I want to start something that will let other people engage with us on a more intimate level.
So being a first year rep would give me the opportunity to be on the board of directors with Vanessa. And that's kind of where we discuss, and talk about ideas and visions for the CUS. So that's where I mostly want to go. So Vanessa has something that she's interested in, or if the board directors have something that they're interested in, I'd want to contribute, add on. Also, the whole transparency thing, I think that's brilliant because that is exactly what we need. As in, people should know, people should get informed. And it's
So I'll have to admit, before I actually knew about your platform, I was already thinking about my platform back maybe a little bit before the election started. And I was thinking about transparency, I was thinking about engagement. And then I realized, actually, Catherine, I think, mentioned this to me, is like, wow, your platform sounds pretty similar to Vanessa. And then I had to actually search up who you were at the time. But this was before Sauder, I apologize. But I think our visions kind of are very hand in hand with each other. I think it's very important for transparency, for example. As a first year student, I was not fully aware of all the services that we had available to us. And even till today, it wasn't until I actually did a lot of research during the past week, going through the CEO's website, that I was actually able to get more informed myself. Now, in terms of transparency, I want to make this more easily accessible and ready at your disposal. And rather than having to sort through everything in the website, maybe word of mouth or just through student engagement, that is how I would go about that. That also goes hand in hand, again, with engagement as well. Having all the students come together to get involved within the community. I think that's where we share a common goal on that.
I too resonated with your point of transparency. I had the very similar point of keeping everyone here inside the CUS loop. So making sure that we as representatives are actually representing the people. We are taking their inputs and getting them to CUS. Just making sure that that's what we're doing. And so our goals are pretty aligned.
Adding to your vision, I would add what I put in my speech: dedication, perseverance, and hard work, making people know all about the CUS and making this one of my priorities.
I'm just going to insert a quick thing. I believe that since Vanessa was voted in as the president of the CUS, Vanessa's goals, Vanessa's platform is no longer Vanessa's. It's now Sauder's. And I believe it's up to us to make Sauder's platform, what the people of Sauder want, the reality. And so as the CUS first year rep, what I would do is bridge the values of the platform of the CUS, of Vanessa's platform, and enact them through the first years. Vanessa obviously isn't personally able to interact with all the first years, so I'll be essentially the bridge between first years and the board of directors, and make sure that our dreams are no longer just dreams. We'll do it. Thank you.
Since last November, when I attended a Sauder event and saw a video of Vanessa while she was working with L'Oreal, and then through Kickoff and also through my Spark leaders, I became quite the Vanessa fangirl, as a lot of my friends know. And even though Vanessa is like the coolest person I ever know, and I'm still way too shy to personally talk to her, I would try my best and hardest to help her, especially in engagement, because that's one of my personal passions, and I think it's one of the hardest things, especially for first years, to be able to get everyone engaged when they're very focused on either academics or making friends or making the most out of their first year experience.
I agree a lot with what Kevin said. I think Vanessa's platforms are now the platforms of the CUS. One of the key points that really resonate with me would be unity. I'm a strong believer that teams accomplish a lot more than a bunch of individuals, and I believe that together, through putting on events like the Spark, I mean, I had a great time at the Spark, and I know there will be more events that the CUS will put on down the line that give people a chance to network and meet with each other, expand their friend circles, and I think that's very important to creating a tight-knit community where people can trust each other and know that they can achieve their best without judgment. Thank you.
So yes, I think as first years, maybe we're not as informed about Vanessa's platform. So what I want to do is just to share, create this vibe that everyone should be together. And especially I can relate to the engagement part and the unity part. I feel like
everyone, they're so nervous to make friends, and sometimes it is really easy to stuck in your own bubbles. And especially with the STT standard timetable system, maybe you would just stick with your friends. But that's not what I want to do. I want everyone to engage, like to find out like friends that you will never know. And maybe, once you will realize that, oh, I wish I would have known you earlier, So that's what I really think is the unity that I can relate, and I hope that I can let everyone know that we are a family. We are soccer.
Thank you. I mean, I feel like probably the biggest way I can make the CUS's platform and Vanessa's platform and vision come to life is honestly, of course, I'm going to be a bridge between the first years at Sauder and the CUS. That's a given. That's my role as a first year rep. I'm definitely going to do that. And also, I feel like my obedience to Vanessa, whatever she says, I'm going to do to make her vision come true. I feel like that's what you really need. So.
It's actually funny that this question comes up because Vanessa was actually my inspiration for running for first year rep. That's her right now. Because she was just so full of energy and enthusiasm and just love for Sauder when she did her speech at the Spark. So I was really inspired by her platform of transparency and engagement, and I think that actually works really well with what my platform kind of developed to be with like communication is almost like transparency, where I want everyone in Sauder to be able to like communicate efficiently and successfully and make sure everyone knows what's going on so we can all come together and create that tight-knit community, because we can't create something that's like a family if we don't talk to each other, if we're not diplomatic, if we don't solve our problems with one another and form these connections. So that also kind of coincides with like the rest of my platform with like the wellness and togetherness, and I think both platforms kind of really complement each other.
So the message platform is transparency, involvement, and unity. Since my fellow candidates already focus a lot on transparency and involvement, I'll mainly focus on unity. Also, very interconnected, and I want to do initiatives and events that bring people together, that make you have a sense of belonging. The only way people will be united as a faculty is if everybody feels like they belong in Sauder, a sense of community.
So just a quick update. We've got a nice bunch of pizzas over there, and I'm wondering if we should do one question or two questions. What's the consensus? One more question? Two more questions?
Two more, we can wait for food.
Two more. I know Alex has got a question.
First of all, good job, guys, on your speeches. Really impressive. So I have two questions here from the engagement portfolio. Well, 1.5. Okay.
Yo, can you make it so that anyone can answer?
Okay, sure. So my first question, my only question, is this year one thing we're really trying to do differently is trying to get the first year reps much more involved with the first year committee. If you don't know what the first year committee is, they're a group of first years who basically were elect after the elections, or actually apply after elections, who create a whole bunch of events for the first years. So I'm asking you, what is one thing that you can bring to the first year committee that will directly benefit the group?
Hey James, I have a suggestion. Instead of having everyone just like answer like this, maybe as was suggested by our friend here, people can just jump out with their answers as please.
Totally, like,
So we can ask another question afterwards
Yeah,
as well.
so not everybody has to, want to answer.
Right, okay.
So I'll be very proactive in my involvement with the first year committee, as seen by my campaign, over involvement. I put up events to promote involvement. My speech was promoting all people getting involved with what I said. So that's what I'm all about.
Sure, I'll go. A big point of my platform was wellness, so I really want to bring the aspect of mental health to the committee. I think mental health in this kind of environment is very, very important, especially with all the stressors and all of the pressure that are on the students. So getting all the resources that are already here on campus and in Sauder, like out to the students, making sure that they know about it, and just more awareness and stuff about mental health.
Thank you to whoever that was. But honestly, to keep it short, I feel like one good thing that I can bring to the first year committee is probably, I don't know, I feel like I'm a really easygoing guy. I feel like I can almost relate to everyone. I can pretty much have a conversation with everyone. I feel like I can, I don't know, use word of mouth, but that's a tough question for me. I don't know.
As I said before, I really want to create something new, something that we have never done together, and I feel like all the first years they're creative individuals, and we can create something special together, and that's why I want to bring everyone together and create something special.
So I love events. You know, I love going out, meeting new people, doing different things. And in high school, I planned a lot of social events as a member of our student council. And so I just think that social events are so good for networking, meeting people who you can relate to. And I think I bring a fairly personable personality to the table, and I would bring that to the first year committee.
In a teamwork environment, my specialty is often to find the strengths of all the members in the group and make sure that they can use those strengths to benefit the entire group, and that everyone's opinion is very valued and taken into consideration, and that we all come on agreement. And me, myself, as an aspiring marketing student, I would love to really observe the first year's research, understand what they want and what they need, and then present that to the group so that we can generate some ideas to fulfill these needs.
Hey Alex, so in regards to your question in regards to the first year committee, I would personally bring my event management skills. I helped run VMUN, which is Vancouver's, or rather Western Canada's largest model UN conference, 1,300 delegates. I've run plenty of Super Smash Bros. Tournaments, and I've got event management under my belt, and that's why I've been to your committee. Thank you.
Being an international student, I've been here for about 2 months already since Jumpstart, so I feel I know a lot of international and local students already, and my plan would be trying to make events to get a lot of people together and make this a family. And towards preparation, back in Bolivia, I've organized around the leadership conference. I've run 5 different nonprofit groups, and I've done a lot of things that I feel make me capable of taking this to US first year representation.
So like I mentioned in my platform, one of the most important things that I want to work on is to have inter-faculty events between Sauder and other faculties. I know Boyce is having an event very soon with the SUS. I think that's absolutely wonderful. So I think that having inter-faculty events between faculties would be a really strong thing, a really strong asset for the committee to have.
For myself, I think I'd bring to the committee my leadership qualities that I've developed throughout high school. Most of which coming from, I was the leader and the founder of the Glee Club at my school. I don't know if you guys know about Glee. I know this doesn't sound like a big thing for you guys, but this was an initiative that I took because our school, I came from Port Moody Secondary, and it was, did you come from there as well?
No, I went
okay.
I went there.
Okay.
You didn't even go here!
We have a very extensive music program, but it was something for students. So students sometimes were a little bit shy to express their opinions or their interest in something. So I know how to engage and to connect with people and to listen with people, because I think that's a huge part about being a leader. It's not just telling and delegating things to do to people, but it's also having open ears and to listen to what people have to say.
Yes, the biggest thing that I believe that I can bring to the table is just this whole idea of empowerment, to empower others to believe that, you know what, you can take initiative for yourself and for everyone else, and that all the visions that we have together can come and form something great and amazing. Is this long enough?
Okay, so honestly, I think that the first year committee, they're probably already a very motivated group of people. The most important thing that I can really bring to them is the voice of Sauder. So whatever the rest of the community, the rest of the student body wants, I don't truly believe that I need to be a leader per se for them, because if they're part of this community, they're probably already leaders themselves, and I don't really want to enforce whatever I want over them. I think they should really have empowerment. They should have the freedom to do what they want. Instead, I want to be able to encourage them. I want to be someone there, like a friend that they can connect to, someone that they can count on.
So we're gonna have one final question before we dive into that pizza over there, and we're gonna give it to Vilau.
So I just want to say I'm so sad right now because realizing that there's only 2 positions for AMS rep and first year rep just breaks my heart because this is probably one of the strongest pools of candidates that I have ever seen in the last 4 years that I've been here in Sauder, and it's amazing. And I know that, for elections, you guys are all talking about what are you going to do if you do win. But what I encourage you to do is, even if you don't win, that you stay involved or stay committed to whatever platforms you're already thinking about. And so my question to everybody is, what are you going to do or what are you going to pursue if you don't get this position?
Hey Vanessa, I really appreciate that question because it's a very realistic possibility that with so many strong and qualified candidates, we won't get the position. But in the case that does occur, there's plenty of ways that one can get involved in the Sauder community. And just through researching for this campaign, I've found so many really cool opportunities. Definitely want to get involved with the first year committee, potentially do my own thing. I know that there's plenty of ways and capacities for me to make the Sauder community an even better place. And the first year representative position isn't the only way to do so. Thanks.
Thanks, Vanessa, for the question. So again, as Kevin said, there are a lot of people, and we're all very capable. So the chance that I might not receive the position is very realistic. If I don't get the position, I will continue to stay in the loop about what's happening in the CUS. I'll talk to the person who does become the first year representative. I do want to join the first year committee. That's something that appeals to me and seems very cool. So, and I know there will always be opportunities to join down the line. So I will stay in touch for sure.
I also have something to add on. So this is actually my personal opinion. It's just that why do we need a title to do things? Why do we need the title of CUS first year representative to represent the first years? Because you can just go out, talk to people, make them engage, and just like, oh, yo, there's a party or there's a club event coming out. Do you want to join? Why can't we all do that? So that's what I'm gonna do.
That was really well said. To be honest with you, I've been trying to start my own business since I was in grade 12, and I've been doing a really bad job at it. Every time I get close to doing something, it just fails. So hopefully if I don't get it, hopefully this year's the year where I can finally get somewhere with my startup. But you never know.
So my plan is still to stick with the mental health movements. I'm really, really passionate about it, and regardless if I get the position or not, I'm still going to pursue that, being an MHAC. And there was something floating around about peer counseling. There's a peer counseling club that I'm really interested in too, and also the first year community sounds really cool. And also what everyone else has been saying, that we can always talk to each other. This group of people is an amazing group of people. I love these guys so much, just talking to them and getting to know them through the campaign, that I'm sure we'll all stay really good friends after this, and we'll all keep each other in the loop and support each other. And not all of us need to have it. We're all in this together. That's what Sauder is about, right?
Over the past month, hard to believe I've been here for only 1 month. Over the past, I've been heavily involved already in the club. I think every single event I can possibly be to. Sadly, all of you run events on the same night, and it's not two of me. If it will, I'll go to both events. I'm already a member of Starting Class of Students Association, UBC Marketing Association, UBC Human Resource Management, that club, and International Business Club. So I'll be continually involved with going out to events. I love socializing. I'm hoping that I could get a position in the first year committee and other exec positions in January. Thank you.
I'd actually love all of them to kind of tell me what they want.
Well, during high school, there weren't a lot of opportunities or clubs or events going on at my school. So once I got to UBC, I was really overwhelmed. During Clubs Day and Imagine Day, I literally went to every booth and took pamphlets. And I kind of am more of a shy person a lot of the time, so I threw myself out here to become CUS first year rep and applied for exec positions in a lot of clubs. However, if none of that works out, I think I want to take some time to like pause, reevaluate what I'm going for and how much I can actually handle, and kind of look to see where I fit in more. And not only in solder, I also want to pursue my own hobbies, and I'm thinking of starting a poi club because we don't have a poi club and we have like 300 clubs. So that might be a thing that I'll do.
Right now, all of us we're all on Facebook, so we can all use that as sticking with the CUS and helping promote most of the events with our friends. And yeah, to keep this bond that we created during this campaign season and stay as the solder family we are.
The main reason I am in all of this is because I want to contribute to our community, and seeing that vision, I also applied to in a couple of other clubs as well for the management position. So if sadly this doesn't work out, I can still contribute to the other positions. And if none of that works out, then like Allison said, you don't need to have a title to contribute to the community.
I totally agree with Mortaza. The reason we are here is because we want to contribute to our first year student body. And I think this experience that we've had campaigning, meeting people, researching about the CUS, informing ourselves about that, those are excellent qualities and elements that we have and that we now possess. And that's something that we can go about to use in our advantage. So the people that we went out to meet, the people when we were campaigning to build connections with, we have the opportunity now to go out and encourage them to learn more, to get more informed, and also to continue to help them bridge that gap between the CUS and ourselves.
Yeah, so I used to work in an organic grocery store, so I really want to get more involved with Kiwi because I'm really into being like healthy and wellness and eating clean and stuff like that. Also, I would love to go and support some of my friends on the JDC West team, so to watch their debate competitions and go to MEAG, the conference. Sounds very exciting and promising.
I think the coolest thing I got out of campaigning was really just meeting all these people. Honestly, as a first year, I don't really know where my passions lie, so all I can say is I'll just keep exploring.
So that concludes our first rep and AMS rep all candidates forum. All the candidates will be staying behind if you have any personal questions to ask them. As of now, we've got a ton of pizza over there that is right for the taking. Head on over to Omar and Peter. It's a 2-slice maximum. 2 slice.
Amazing.
Thank you.